to Makeup Obsessed Week. That's right. I am taking over YouTube this week because I am dying for you to see the creations I am making with the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palettes. Yesterday, I tackled Ring the Alarm palette. If you didn't see that video, I'm gonna link it up here. You need to go watch that one when we're done because the colors were stunning. It looked like a summer sunset. But today, we're tackling probably my favorite palette in the collection, and that is Bling Boss. Look at these shades. I love purples and mauves and roses, and this one has it all. And the one I was most excited about playing with was this one, Buried Treasure. So I used that one today, and you're gonna get to find out what I think of it and how I created this eye look. But before we get into that, if this is your first time here, welcome. Look around when we are done with this video and make sure you're subscribed, and not only subscribed, but that you've hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time we upload, which this week is going to be a lot. All right, beautifuls, without further ado, let's pull you in closer so you can see how I created this eye look. All right, beautifuls, let's get into the second palette in the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Vault collection. I am going to play with the palette Bling Boss. I think this is the one I am most excited about. I love the mauves, I love the roses, I love the purples. I don't know, this palette just screams to me. So I've already primed and set my lids with concealer and powder, so I am ready to go in. And I'm gonna pick up a Morphe M412, and I'm gonna dip it into the shade Hush Hush. This is a really dusty rose mauve color that I am just loving. So I'm tapping off my excess, and I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna start applying this very lightly in my transition, and almost down onto my lid a little bit. And as you can see, as I am doing windshield wiper motions back and forth, I'm also pulling it down a little bit on the outer corner of my eye. And I'm making sure I bring this all the way in to the inner corner of my eye as well. I'm gonna go in with a Morphe M518 and just blend it. I wanna make sure there's no harsh edges at all. I want this to be extremely blended before I move on to the next shadow. Keeping with the same brush, I am going to go into the shade Rockstar. This is a purple pink fuchsia color. I love this color. I am going to put this just above my crease, but I'm not bringing it up as far as I did Hush Hush. Just stunning. I'm gonna dip back in, and I'm gonna just start building up the intensity of this color. And again, I'm gonna blend it out. All right, beautifuls, I'm going to go in to the shade Mystic. And for the shade, I'm gonna use a Morphe M411. It's just a little bit smaller than the one I had previously. And I'm gonna concentrate this shade on the very tip of my brush, right in my crease, almost down onto my lid a little bit. And I am not gonna bring it all the way in. I'm gonna stop just shy of bringing it in. I am going to use an e.l.f. concealer brush. I love this brush if I'm going to be packing a lot of color onto my lid, especially if I'm going to be using a setting spray to foil it, like I plan on doing with this next shadow, which is going to be Buried Treasure. I am obsessed with this shadow. It looks brown in the pan with a little bit of gold fleck, but when you put it on the lid, it's almost like it's a brown purpley color. It seems to shift as the light gets it. I absolutely love it. So I'm picking it up on my e.l.f. brush, and I'm gonna use some setting spray. This is the MAC Fix Plus in Gold Light, and I'm gonna give it a little spritz. And I'm gonna start putting this all over the movable part of my lid. Going back to my Morphe M411, I'm gonna pick up the shade Mystic again, and I am just gonna start buffing it on the edge of Berry Treasure. I wanna make sure there's no harsh line there, and that the two shades just kind of meet together seamlessly. So as you can see, I have a ton of fallout from Berry Treasure, and I'm just gonna brush that away. I'm gonna use my Morphe M411 and a little bit of translucent powder. Oh my gosh, do you see this? Normally when I use a dark shade and I get fallout, I can take a large brush and some powder and brush it away. This didn't brush, this just kind of smeared all over my cheek and my lower lash line. I am going to jump off camera, fix this, and I will be right back. All right, beautifuls, that was crazy. I literally had to take all of my makeup off right here and patch back in with my concealer and my highlighter and my powder. I feel like I have like less coverage on a line here, but it is what it is and we're rolling with it. So on a note with Berry Treasure, if you use that shade, I recommend doing your eyes before you do any of your makeup. Because like I said, I work with dark shades all the time. And if I get a little fallout, if I take a big fluffy brush with a lot of powder on it and very gently brush it away, it will brush away and not leave any traces. This just brushed into the skin and no amount of brushing or powder would make it go away. So forewarning if you use that shade. That was crazy. All right, moving forward with the Bling Boss palette. I am going to pick up my Karity E26, which is a flat brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Mystic. And I'm gonna tap off the excess, and I'm gonna start wiggling this shade on my lower lash line. I am getting it really tight up in there, almost in my waterline. And then I do make sure I connect it to my outer V up here. I don't want there to be a gap right there. Using my e.l.f. Eye Crease brush, I'm gonna pick up the shade Hush Hush, and I'm gonna very lightly start buffing out my edge to Mystic. I don't want a lot, I just want to diffuse it a little bit so it's not as harsh of a line. All right, beautifuls, so I have to say I am a little bit disappointed in Berry Treasure. When I swatched this on the back of my hand with my finger, the glitter that's in it really showed up and it looked beautiful, and I thought this would be stunning on the lid. Using the Fix Plus with that shade, almost all of the glitter is non-existent. I mean, I see like a speck right here and a speck right here. Other than that, it just looks dark, and it's a lot darker on my lid than the swatch showed. So I am going to try to salvage this eye look. I love everything else about it except for that color. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Ballsy, which I think is pretty appropriate for what I'm trying to do right now. And I'm gonna actually pick it up on my finger, and I'm gonna start pressing this onto my lid and seeing if I can bring a little bit more dimension. Okay, so as you can see, I not only brought it all the way in, but I brought it over a little bit more so that about 2/3 of my eye is the Ballsy shade, and then it goes into Berry Treasure. So just like in the palette Ring the Alarm, there is not a good highlight shade in this palette. So I'm gonna jump into Jaclyn's original palette to grab a shade to highlight my brow bone and my inner corner. am going to do eyeliner and mascara off camera. I will be right back. All right, beautifuls, here is the end result. I have to say I like it, but I am a little let down with that Berry Treasure shade. I really had such high hopes for it, and for it to not perform like I was hoping for just kind of made me a little sad. I think I redeemed it using the other shade on my lid, which was Ballsy. I think it added the dimension I was looking for. I hate when an idea doesn't work out the way you think it did, especially where I struggled with all of that fallout. All right, beautifuls, I am gonna do the other eye and I will be right back. Okay, so here I am all done. My other eye's done, my lashes are on, my mascara is done. I am happy with how this eye look turned out. It is not the way I envisioned it when I started out this morning. So a couple of things I've noticed with this palette. The Berry Treasure shade. It's a beautiful shade, especially when swatched with your finger. Definitely, if you're gonna use that shade, make sure you don't do the rest of your face first, because you really are gonna have to clean up with a makeup wipe when you're done. Even doing this eye and holding a tissue like this, I still had fallout, and you can see a little bit of it right here. It is what it is. Second is I would not use a brush for this shade. I think if I had gone in with my finger like I did Ballsy, I think the glitter would have stuck around more. I think there's something about using the brush with the setting spray that the glitter just doesn't translate well, or it gets covered or something. So next time I try it, I'm definitely gonna not use a brush and use my finger, because the glitter in it is gorgeous. Like, okay, look at this, ready? Like, it is gorgeous, and I know it's not translating as well on camera as it is here, but it's super fine particles of gold glitter that's within it, and it just looks amazing. It almost looks like a sparkly duochrome, and I'm a little bit disappointed that it didn't come across like that on the lid. It looked really flat, and it looked a lot darker than even this did. So beware of that it is definitely a dark, intense color. But I really am happy with how this eye look turned out. I think it's definitely date night worthy. This nice deep purple smoky eye, like, hello, Vixen, here we are. All right, beautifuls, if you have tried this palette, comment below and tell me which shade you loved, or if you tried that one, you struggled with it also. There are a few more eye looks that I am looking to do with this, so they will be coming. But tomorrow, we will be diving into another one of the palettes in this collection. So make sure you're subscribed and your notification bell is turned on, because trust me, you don't want to miss it. I think I'm excited about this one. The more I've played with it, the more excited I get. So you definitely don't want to miss. So until tomorrow, beautifuls, be beautiful, because you are the only you. Bye.